Now, and this has been dominating our headlines yet again over the past week. Several advocacy groups are marching to the union buildings this afternoon, wanting gender-based violence and femicide to be declared a national disaster. The groups, who believe existing laws have failed to fight the scourge, are also set to hand over petition demands to national government. Ziniko Mhlaba is live to us from the capital now with the latest on this story. Ziniko, all you have to do is look at the headlines over the past couple of weeks. And the number of children that have been in those headlines facing serious violations. Also looking at the statistic, the shameful statistic that South Africa is the rape capital of the world. This cannot be a difficult argument to make to government.
Definitely, Michelle, and as you mentioned, that even statistics are really reflecting the dire situation when it comes to violence against women and children here in South Africa. Also remember that the statistics are not just coming from the South African Police Service, but also Statistics South Africa have also been sharing a very glimpse or a disappointing picture in terms of the violence that is really perpetrated against the most vulnerable citizens of this country. So today, several advocacy groups led by Women for Change have decided to really take the fight to the union buildings to really call for the declaration of gender-based violence and femicide as a disaster. That talks to many other issues when it comes to allocating funds towards a disaster type of a situation. So they have arrived here. They have not started officially, but you can see that young people and old citizens have come out in their numbers. They're still setting up. The stage is still being set up. So we are anticipating that a decent number of individuals will come out here. It is not just one organization that is really going to be driving this particular march, but also several organizations that are in solidarity and are also calling for the gender-based violence and femicide to be taken seriously to an extent of it being declared disaster. But now I'm joined by Bulelwa Adonis, who is the spokesperson for Women for Change, just to give us context and the importance of this day. Mrs. Bulelwa, thank you very much for your time. Give us the background, know the context, but what made the organization Women for Change to really decide that actually what we've been doing does not seem to be enough? This must be declared disaster.
Thank you so much for having me. So this is a fight that started almost 10 years ago when Sabrina, our founder, founded Women for Change, because she knew that gender-based violence and femicide, we need awareness against it. Little did we know we'd morph into this. We see that this has only gotten worse since we've been in the space, being at the forefront. I myself being working here for 5 years. We've heard so many promises. Our stats keep going down. Where do we start? We're rape capital of the world. Our stats say enough, but I think we are tired. Enough is enough. The reason that we wanted to be declared a national disaster is because we've heard the stories. We have systems in play, but there's a lack of implementation. There's a lack of pressure. There's a lack of consistency as well. So I think our intention for this, it's not sudden. We started this petition, yes, but this has been our fight for almost 10 years, creating awareness, educating society about GBVF. But this is a pandemic that none of us can overlook. So that's how we got here, that it's time that we pressure our leaders, we pressure ourselves as society to take this seriously.
I mean, looking at how the president himself has been speaking vocally about this issue, condemning this issue from when he took over in 2018, do you think maybe there are still gaps that needs to still be filled when it comes to taking this matter seriously? You're mentioning the fact that the stats continue to rise, but also these incidents keep on happening. What is the attitude of government from your perspective with your engagement and other several stakeholders in terms of really declaring it a state of disaster? And do you think maybe that's where it needs to be at this point?
Honestly, it feels like there's a lack of seriousness when it comes to gender-based violence and femicide. It seems to be the kind of pandemic where we will see our leaders, even as society, there's something called selective activism where we decide when a story is trending, or when we decide, okay, how I'm feeling, that, okay, let me show up, let me come to this march, let me endorse this story. But in reality, looking at the work that we do as an organization, we speak about this 365 days in a year, because this is a 365-day pandemic, so We've spoken about it. We've had conversations. We have good systems. But my question is, where is the implementation? My question is, where are you on a daily basis? Yes, we've heard this. We've heard about the NSP. There's so many good things in play. There's good legislations. But why is it that South Africa still feels like a safe haven for predators?
Talk to us briefly about what we can expect today in terms of the program. I understand that there's also a petition which is going to be headed over.
Yes. So as you can see, we are starting. We are about to start soon, or we have actually started. The intention today, it's not necessarily a march, but it's a demonstration where we have an entire program that will unfold, and we will be done by 4 p.m., where you will see artists, families speaking. This is a serious event where we've given a platform to our community and people that are in this fight that have the same fight and voice, that are in one accord with us. So that's what you can expect.
Thank you very much, Bulelwa.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. That's Bulelwa, Adonis. Michelle, indeed, the program has started at this point. As you can see, the attendees have started singing songs, and of course, we are expecting that there will be a period where victims of gender-based violence and femicide will also be addressing the attendees here, but also sharing their stories and their experiences. As you said, as you heard Bulelwa saying that they've got different voices that are really going to be speaking out against gender-based violence and femicide. So it has officially started. We'll keep updating the viewers as the program progresses.
Ziniko, before we let you go, do we know yet which representative from national government will be accepting this memorandum?
So initially, Michelle, the idea was to have someone at the highest level when it comes to the executive receiving this memorandum, and that is why it was, or the march or the demonstration is happening here at the union buildings. But I do understand that the Department of Women, Children and People with Disabilities has taken up with that responsibility. So it might be the Deputy Minister of that department who will be accepting that memorandum as far as the organizers are concerned.
Ziniko Mhlaba is live to us in the capital. Thanks very much, Ziniko, for that update.